Hey, what's good, barbecue family? It's your boy Joe Mill here, back with Killer Miller Q, and today we putting together this Chimichurri Whole Chicken on the Ninja Woodfire Grill. Can't go wrong with this one. Let's get right to it. The music, we are back for another good edition here with Killer Miller Q, and I got this whole young chicken sitting here, one of Costco's finest, one of my favorite things to kind of get together as I'm getting some meal prep together. And I also got something that I've been sitting on for a while from Costco, which is another one of these Kinder seasoning. This is the Brazilian steak chimichurri style blend. It's time for me to eat. I like this one. I actually just opened this up and tasted it out the bottle. It definitely has a little bit more of that chimichurri taste, a lot of lemon. Almost reminds me of Santa Maria a little bit. A little bit of lemon and some herbs in there, a little salt. I think this is going to be a nice one on some chicken as well. So we're going to be making a chimichurri style chicken on this one. And I'll get a chance to finally try another whole chicken or a bigger item inside of my wood fire grill out there. So this is the plan. We're gonna spatchcock this baby after I get it out of here and clean it up. We'll season it up heavy. I'm gonna take you outside. It's a beautiful day. We'll get this wood fire grill all fired up and we'll get it on. All right, so we got this thing cleaned up. Who knows if there's something still in there? I'll find out just in a second, but we did get the initial rinse down. You can take whatever cleaning process methods that you enjoy. For me, I'm just going to give it a little bit of rinse down, get some of that stuff up off of there, and get it up out that solution. Now we're going to be spatchcocking this thing, and if you didn't know, it's super simple. All I'm going to be doing is taking my kitchen shears, and we're cutting basically along the side of the backbone and the spinal column, and we're going to take that middle section directly out. Some people will keep this and actually use it to make a chicken stock or something like that. I'm going to be tossing mine away, but we want to get this cleaned out. We'll flip this baby back over and it'll be nice and flat. Okay, so just like you see it, we'll take that out. And then, like I said, sometimes you will see some of that stuff that is still there. So we want to get rid of that, and usually what I do is I like to take all of this stuff out. Once I get it all spatchcocked, I can clean it up. There's sometimes some extra fat that I like getting rid of, sometimes in this area, just so I don't got so much of a drip air and everything. And there might be a couple tubes or something you might catch here, and a lot of times I just kind of clean it up and get rid of everything else. So let me do a little bit of light trimming. I'm going to give this thing another re-rinse and we'll be ready. Alright, we got it nice and cleaned up. Nothing too crazy. Next we're going over, I got some avocado oil right here. A lot of times I will buy the avocado oil spray, which is great for like situations like this because you can literally just spray it on. It's a thin layer. You don't have to use too much, but don't have that right now. So we're just going to use some of this regular avocado oil. I done got myself all cleaned up. So I got my glove on. So I'm just going to give it a good amount because I know that I want to get a little bit on the other side. And this oil is just going to help it to stop from burning, help the skin to crisp up a little bit, even though I might truthfully end up taking the skin off in the end, but we will start with it. Give it a little flip. This will also help our seasoning stick to this. So open this baby up nice and spaced out just like that. Everything's nice and oiled. And the one thing I did do also before I came back to you after I cleaned it out was I took a couple paper towels and I dried it all the way off as best I could, so that way it wouldn't be wet and we can actually get this oil on here nice and clean. So now I'm gonna get this glove off and we're gonna go ahead and hit it with a little bit of this Brazilian rub. One side down, we got a little bit up under the wing. I like to open these babies up a little bit and give it some of that. I start with it open and then fold them back over so I can start with this back side. Now we're going to go ahead and flip this thing over. Alright, now let's give this top side some. Ta-da! Nothing too crazy. This rub smells amazing. I definitely smell the lemon flavor and everything coming off here along with them herbs. You can see a little bit of them red pepper flakes. I like that. But basically, we just hit the top, obviously. I'm going to let this hang out as you see it. We're going to step outside, get this thing warmed up. One thing I like to do a lot of times when I spatchcock is I'll pull those wing tips back and tuck him behind, kind of giving that look like he's sunbathing. Let me show you from that angle. He's just sitting back real cool, like over here on a nice hot sunny day. So one reason you do that is it hides those wingtips so that they usually get burnt up. It really doesn't matter because I'm not going to eat them anyway, but it's totally just something to be pretty. But once I saw it, I kind of like it. So a lot of times that's what I'll do versus just having them sticking up here. A lot of times they get a little wild. It might be a little more open. It just kind of helps keep everything a little bit more in the box, a little more uniform. I'm going to let this sit right here and hang out, start coming up to the temp a little bit. Let's step outside. All right, it is a bright and sunny day. Won't be out there playing with none of them today. It is more than, it's probably a good 94, 95 degrees out here. We're getting to it. But let's jump into this Ninja Woodfire. I got everything pretty much set up except I didn't plug it in, so that's going to be a problem. So let me do that real quick. Rookie move right there. We got this thing turned on. I actually do got some pellets in. We're going to do a little bit of smoke today. One thing you know, from what I remember when I was reading, you don't want to have that overfilled. I'm not using those Bear Mountain pellets that came with it. I always felt they were a little harsh. I'm just using the exact same ones that I use right over there on my pellet grill, which is, I use the Costco blender pellets. They come out really good with a good flavor. I don't plan on using too much smoke because one thing that I quickly noticed was this is a small unit that pumps out a lot of smoke, and sometimes I think you can easily over smoke something. Chicken usually doesn't take that much, but I'm going to go with a setting that I don't think I've used yet, which is let's roast the chicken, right? Roast is at 350. I think that sounds like a respectful amount. And then what I'm planning on is I think this is a setting that I can actually use the smoke flavor button. I'll give it maybe 15 minutes in the beginning or something like that, or 10 minutes or so in the beginning to kind of get some of that smoke in, and then I'm gonna back on off, and then we'll see how it goes. So let's get it started. Wow, that was quick. Maybe at the most 3 minutes, and this thing's already letting me know it's up to temp. It's ready to go. It was said that you're not supposed to be adding any like spray stick or anything directly to that surface, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it. We're gonna leave it right there. Again, this is not the XL, so for this to be the smaller version, I mean that's a whole chicken. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 pounds, something like that. Definitely is holding that in there pretty easily. Let's see how it works. I'm gonna go ahead and close it up. Now we are on. And then, will they let me do the smoke on this one? Looks like there's no smoke on the roasting setting. Alright, well let's let it roast then. No smoke it is. I will bring you back. We're going to take a peek in about 10 minutes. And then maybe I'll give it a flip around or something like that, and we'll go from there. Alright, it has been 11 minutes, right? Started at 25 minutes on this countdown. I definitely smell some of this chimichurri. You ready to peek? Oh yeah, this thing cooks fast. You see the skin starting to break. You know that it's doing some quick work. I also see some here breaking. Obviously there's nowhere near to being done. You can still see that there. But that lets you know that it's definitely surface area getting up to a quick temp and nice and hot. I'm going to get this a flip. It's a 180 turn. And then we're going to let this thing keep going. Alright, I got the done message. 25 minutes. Woohoo! Okay, I don't know if this is completely done, but that's a beautiful looking color it got on here. I can definitely see that it's been working on my skin. You can see that brown coming through. Smells great. I don't got no more splitting, which is good. I got a feeling it's probably not completely at temp, but let's take a peek. 25 minutes, this was at 350. That's into my dark meat, so still got a little bit of room to play. Let's see. Okay. Alright, so we ain't there yet. I'm gonna let this baby keep on riding. I'm about to put it back on to the 350, and we'll give it another 10 minutes. 5 more additional minutes. Hello. I'm gonna rotate them. Looking good. While I got it open, let me get a quick look into that leg. Still got a ways to go. My breast is almost at 160. I think this is going to probably take another 10 minutes total. Let's keep it going. Close it up. And team, I want to jump in here real quick and let you know, thanks for following along on today's cooking. If you're new to the channel, go to that bottom right corner, make sure you subscribe, check out any videos you've missed. And if you haven't done it already, find me on Facebook, IG, and TikTok. Other than that, let's get back to the work. Alright, I added some extra time on here and I came out. It was almost at that 5-minute mark. You can see I gave it a rotation. Put them legs towards the back because they were the ones that were the furthest behind. There we go. Now I'm hitting the numbers that I like. Ooh, excuse me. Now I'm hitting the numbers I like on my dark meat, which is 185 plus. Lets me know that my light meat should definitely be ready to rock. Like to see that. 65. A little under. I ain't too worried about that. Let's get it off. What I actually decided, I saw a little bit of juice that I didn't like, looked a little more red than I wanted, coming out of the darker side. So obviously that should have been up to temperature, but we don't play that with chicken. The other thing that I thought about, which I hadn't done yet, was I didn't turn this baby upside down. And one thing that you can see, well, I got a little bit of color. It's definitely a lot lighter on this side. So now that I remember that, what I think I'm gonna do is halfway through, or maybe I'll start it face side down next time. Get this side done a little bit and then let the whole top side go ahead and get some love just so we can get some good even cooking and keep that color overall. But I'm gonna give it this last 4 minutes, which I had left on the dial, a little bit, just about 5 minutes on the opposite side so it doesn't get any darker. Let this side get a little love. This baby's coming on up out of here, and I got a little something we're gonna make to put a little bit on here. Back in the house, and then while that's finishing up, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make a little quick makeshift of some chimichurri sauce. Obviously we got that Brazilian style Kinder's chimichurri mix. This is going to be the majority of our flavor, and I don't got everything like simple, or I mean as far as fresh, so I'm just gonna use some simple ingredients that you might already have. I'm gonna add a little cilantro to it just to give it a little bit more of that fresh taste, a little bit of the white vinegar, and then a little bit of the avocado oil, and we're just gonna make a little bit of extra juice that I can more or less kind of pour right over the top. So first things first, let's get a healthy amount of this Brazilian seasoning in. There we go. Like I said, that smells amazing. It's nice and lemony, but that'll give us the majority of our salty and flavor of everything. Now give me a little bit of these cilantro leaves. Obviously you can do this to your own eyes. I just want to get a little bit of that cilantro in there. Obviously I could have came with a couple more other green type seasonings to give me a little more flavoring, but just wanted a little bit. Now I'm gonna come with some red wine vinegar. Here we go, and we're gonna mix all of this up. And then lastly, we need just a little bit of this avocado oil. Now we're just gonna mix it up. Then I'll give it a taste. And then based off of how everything tastes, we'll go from there. Whether we need to add a little more salt, add some more garlic, pepper, more seasoning, or whatever have you. And obviously if you add less of the red wine vinegar and more oil, you'll get thicker. So depending on how you want this to look, you make yours accordingly. There we go. So this is going to be a little watery. Let's see. Good flavor. I got a little too much of the red wine vinegar. Let me give a little bit more of the Kinder seasoning, and I think I'll be about right. There we go. Just added in a little bit more of that Brazilian seasoning. You can tell it looks a little more herby, a little thicker, a little bit more that's gonna stick. This got a good flavor. Money. Perfect timing. We got this thing done quickly. Look how much more, like I said, that was just about 5 minutes. Look how much more color it gave me on this side. I like that. So definitely you want to try to do both sides as you're working on this thing. Definitely that top side gets the majority of your heat, and you don't get as much on that grill side unless maybe you're on a different setting. So I'll remember that for moving forward. Like seeing that clear juice down there. Let's get this on the plate, let it hang out, we'll taste it. Ooh-wee. There it is. Look at that color. I like it, I like it, I like it. And what I tasted on my fingers is on point. Let's get this in the house, let it hang out for a minute. and then we'll get in there and cut it up. Hey, look here. This thing is smelling amazing. Roughly took us about 40 minutes over there on that Woodfire Ninja. Like I said, next time I'll definitely go ahead and give it an earlier flip. But this smells good. The bit that I've tasted off my hand, I'm really liking the flavor coming off of that chimichurri mix. We got us a little additional chimichurri to go on top. Went ahead and broke those leg quarters off so they can sit pretty. I'm gonna let it hang out, and then we're gonna go ahead and butcher this thing down and get a taste. Okay, full disclosure, I had to take care of something with my daughter, and I didn't get to cut this thing up yet, but it has been more than time enough, and I am ready to taste this thing. It has had a chance to hang out for longer than I needed it to, but let's get into it. So what I did was, I'm just gonna chop off that right there. Nice, pretty and done. Still nice and juicy. Look at that, look at that. You can see all that moisture coming up off of there. First, I'm gonna taste it as is. Bite through skin. Let me show you that. All right, you don't always get that with chicken. Wow, that is a good seasoning. Okay, I don't need to do this. However, we must. Just give me a little bit of this on there. A little bit of my made chimichurri, right? A little bit of herbs, a little bit of flavor, a little oil. Let's get a little bit of that in there. Like I said, definitely didn't need that. Definitely not mad at that. Woo! And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Not only is that one of my favorite cooks as I'm prepping during the week, having that nice whole chicken, it is nice using that Ninja Woodfire grill as it fires up faster than my traditional pellet grill, quicker than I can get my Weber together or my Lone Star. Chimichurri seasoning was on fire. Overall, great cook. See you in about a week, but first, shouts out to my family, all my boys at Black Smoke Barbecue, you in TV land, and a special Happy Mother's Day to my girl and my mama. Peace.